Welcome back, folks. My name's Shane. In today's video, we're checking out the Peavey Bandit Supreme Teal Stripe Preamp. I finally have my hands on one of these and I'm wrapped to showcase this in today's video, going through my Fender Blues Deluxe reissue over here because it completely transforms the tone of my Fender amp into that of a Teal Stripe Bandit. Now, if you're unfamiliar with these pedals, this is an exact recreation of the lead channel circuit found in the prized Peavey Bandit 112 from around 1990 and the Supreme 160 Teal Stripe amplifiers. I first played a Teal Stripe Peavey Bandit many years ago playing in San Francisco, and I was shocked just how versatile they are. They've got a great clean channel, but they also can give you anything all the way from classic crunch to metal tones just by changing the settings on the amp. So they're super versatile and they've managed to capture the lead channel in this pedal. So if you're a fan of those amps, I think you'll get a kick out of this. Here's the Peavey Bandit Supreme up close. It's a nice simple pedal. So we've got our gain control, our master output on this side, and a 3-band EQ, which includes bottom, body, and edge, or low, mids, and highs. Now we get up to 15 dB of boost by cranking these up. So you can actually increase the output volume of the pedal by adjusting the EQ forward if that's what you want as well. So it's a really versatile EQ system. The shift button over here controls the frequency at which the body control operates. So this being our mids, we can get a different frequency out of the pedal with it in the in position. It actually sounds perceivably brighter to my ear and it corresponds to this particular control. So you can get lots of different EQ options out of it. Now above it we have our gain control, which increases the overall gain structure of the pedal, which is killer. Now this runs on 9-volt DC, but it will also operate at 18 volts internally, which is great. You don't need to run it with an 18-volt power supply. It's 9-volt only. And we get top-mounted jacks, which is always a bonus. We get a hard bypass anti-click circuitry switch here. Sounds like a normal switch, but it doesn't give you any sort of pop or click through the amplifier when you turn this on and off, which is awesome. Before we get into this video, massive thanks to Amplifier 11 in combination with Peavey for sending this out and sponsoring this video. I really appreciate it. As always, all thoughts are my own, and I'll give you my thoughts about it at the end of this video, because there's definitely a few things about this that you need to know. But overall, man, if you're a fan of the Peavey tone like this guy right here, you'll get a kick out of it. Let's get into it. All right, let's make some noise. We're going to transform my Fender Blues Deluxe reissue amplifier here, which is a real amp in a room with microphones in front of it, into a Peavey Bandit. So this is my Tuck-Eye Love Rock electric guitar. This is my clean tone on bridge. So that's that beautiful Fender clean sound. Now let's make some noise. Have a listen to this. Completely transforms the amplifier. This is with both of these buttons currently up, so off. Here we go. Yeah, so that completely transforms the amp. I've got a Peavey Bandit and I've been playing them for years, and I've been using this Fender amp for such a long time, and it feels and sounds nothing like the Fender amp now, which is crazy. So yeah, let's try a little bit of blues rock stuff now with the volume control on about 3.5. Yeah. Now, a lot of people who love the old Peavey Bandits love to play metal, so I'm going to show you some sort of scoop tones now that you can get. What I'm going to do just to begin with is just pull the voicing down a little bit. We'll try this. I'll play the same thing a few times and then we'll take a look at this switch here as well, the shift. So that mids control makes a massive difference to the sound. If you like more of a scoop sound, just bring it back a little bit. And now I'll show you the difference between the shift off and on. Here we go. So that's definitely changing the sound. It's giving you a little bit more perceivable low end as well. Let's crank the drive up. I'm gonna keep with that kind of scoop sound and this button currently up, so it's off. And I really like this for sort of that heavier stuff, which I don't do much of, but have a listen to this. Bridge pickup. So you get a lot out of this just by making subtle adjustments to that mid frequency. Now this pedal can get quite bright. If you like a bright sound, you can easily dial that in as well. Some might consider that bright, but you can get much brighter by turning this up here. So I'll play a couple of little bits here and show you the difference. We'll go on to the neck pickup just to show you exactly kind of how bright this can go. So you can hear just how much more clarity is coming into the tone. I never need this above 12 o'clock. It's just really bright anywhere above about here. So yeah, you can set it up in a way that works for your guitar and amp setup though. Up next, I'm going to show you the difference between the lead button off and on. So it's been off the entire time, but you can crank more gain out of this. It changes the voicing as well, which is cool. Here we go. I'll play a mix of chords and lead stuff. I'm just a little bit too far away from my amp right now, or I don't have it quite loud enough to get that crazy sustain thing going on. But man, it's right on the border right there. I think with that lead switch in, it sounds great, especially with humbuckers. I could play that all day. Woo, what a tone. What we're going to do now is take a look at the lead and shift button both in while I experiment around here with the EQ. I've still got the gain maxed because it sounds killer. I'll show you the dynamics in a moment as well, but have a listen to this. mean, the beauty of this pedal is you can absolutely get that pushed mid-tone thing that I really love. It's really voicey, and if you like to work your volume control, have a listen to this. Great for lead sort of stuff. Man, there's so much in this pedal. You can get whatever you like out of it. And lastly, I wanted to show you the pedal's dynamics, and I've got it set up so the lead gain and the shift are currently off, and you can see where everything's set. I'm going to start on my Telecaster here with my volume just up from off. Have a listen to this. That's dead clean. A little bit more. All the way up. It cleans up beautifully. It cleans up like an amp, which is exactly what this pedal basically is. All right, let's wrap this up. I'm gonna give you my final thoughts here on the Peavey Bandit Supreme Teal Stripe Preamp pedal. Now, there's a lot to like about this, starting with its versatility. So this will obviously do the high gain metal tones, scooped metal tone, classic rock, crunch tones, all the way down to an off clean blues or country tally picking sort of tone. And if you're into any of those things, you can get it out of this. Just know though, this will completely change the sound of your amplifier. So whether you're playing a Fender, Vox or Marshall, you plug this in, it's going to sound like a Peavey. So yeah, if you're a big fan of those amps like I am, then you'll get a kick out of what this can do. But it's also just a really great recording tool. I was able to get some really great rhythm tones and lead tones here in the studio just by running this. And that's one of the things that not a lot of pedals can do. So you can get those really nice sort of off clean or sort of crunchy rhythm sounds, and then just get a sort of balls to the wall lead tone. So it's very versatile. Maybe my only small nitpick with this pedal, and just something to be aware of, is that the post volume on 10 isn't as loud as my starting tone. Now, if you're running this as an always on pedal, then no big deal. You can run pedals into the front of it and all that kind of stuff and boost it that way. But if you are using this in an on and off situation, my clean tone was actually louder than with the pedal on. So just be aware of that if you're thinking about buying this, and depending on your use case, that may or may not be an issue for you. I think most people buying this are buying it to get the sound of that amp, and then you can run pedals into it. I may actually showcase how this sounds running pedals into it coming up. So stay tuned for that and subscribe if you're not already. The 3-band EQ is extremely usable and versatile. It can also get bright quite quickly as well. So just start with the edge control at 12 or 11 o'clock and work it from there, and you should be able to dial in some really cool tones. But this allows you to kind of dial in the sound that's in your head if you love the Peavey sound, which I'm a big fan of. So yeah, let us know what you think, and a massive thanks to Amplify 11 and Peavey for sending this out. I really appreciate it. If you want to check it out, I'll link it down below. Catch you soon.